Christina, first of all, these suits filed by an Austrian privacy activist who says that what Google and Facebook have done to comply doesn't go far enough. Do you think this case holds water?
The introduction of GDPR is making a tremendous change in the way society has been looking to technology. It is the time to regain the trust between the technology and society. Clearly, these claims on the very day of the coming into effect of GDPR are explaining how much society is looking for more clarity and transparency in the use of data. So a change will come, but it's also mature the time for rethinking technology in a more trusted, responsible way, so that individuals will gain again control of their data and more trust in the way companies use their data.
How hard, or indeed, well, how much of an opportunity has it been with you as the data protection officer implementing that within IBM? Have you had to change the business model in any way to ensure that you are now compliant with GDPR?
We had an advantage in IBM, which was since 100 years have developed a strong practice on security and privacy. As a result, for us, it was more a method of adjusting and enhancing what we had, but we had a very strong practice on security and privacy. At the same time, we wanted to look at GDPR more as an opportunity than a challenge. Of course, you need to comply, and therefore that is a challenge in itself,
and
because it's costly, it's true, but it's also, as I said, an opportunity for us as a technology company. Is also an opportunity to support our customers in the banking industry, governments, transportation. We are, since years, their trusted partner.
Christina, IBM has been urging U.S. lawmakers not to adopt GDPR, even sending a big delegation to Washington to lobby against it. Why?
Well, the IBM program for implementing GDPR has been globally adopted. So we wanted to consider GDPR as a good opportunity to enhance our systems in security and privacy around the globe. At the same time, we are a believer of the fact that there is no one-fits-all solution to privacy, really. There are countries and jurisdictions where the cultural dimension and also the rights of individuals are different, because jurisdictionally the rights are different. As a result of that, we believe that there should be the opportunity for countries also to adopt laws and protection to data in a way that is more consistent with those rights. So we are, in a sense, implementing GDPR globally, but at the same time recognizing that other countries may adopt different legislations.
How do you see GDPR materially impacting or changing IBM's business? Will we see an impact of this on the bottom line?
There will be an impact, and we view it as positive, to be honest. And the reason is that it is an opportunity to transform companies and to preparing them for the digital transformation in innovation. In particular, the transformation is about the requirement that GDPR impose on making a bit of cleaning on the data that company has, so that they can manage them and analyze them, and being prepared to leverage also on artificial intelligence and machine learning innovative technologies.
From your point of view, Christina, what is the hardest part of the regulation to satisfy? Is it the fact that it's still open to interpretation, or are there certain elements like the 72-hour rule with a breach or the right to be forgotten that are the biggest hurdles for certain companies?
I believe, and it's also confirmed by studies that we have conducted, that the most difficult part of the regulation is related to the need to have a complete understanding of the data. So the data cleaning, in a sense, is what really is triggering then the possibility to quickly comply with all the other requirements. Data incident you mentioned, but also data subject request. Those are indeed very, very difficult requirement. But if you have control on your data, you are in a position to comply more rapidly to those obligations and with more accuracy. So it's really that is struggling companies, because they have not been used to clean the way data were collected, the way data were used. And that is now making for them more difficult reaching compliance, because still they don't have control
Yeah, and it's been so difficult for some, particularly in the US, that they've almost for the time being washed their hands of EU clients. Today I tried to log on to history.com or try and get onto the LA Times or the Chicago Tribune, and you can't. It's blocked for 500 million people in the EU. Are many of your clients just deciding that their audience isn't big enough in the EU to really try and scale this?
I think there are different attitudes. There are those that are just taking a very wait-and-see approach. There are those that are starting now to realize that they are losing a competitive advantage if they don't get ready and if they don't open themselves to the global, if you like, reach out of data. And there are those that have started quite early this process and that are, if not ready, I mean very close to be ready. So I'm positive. I believe that the opportunity that GDPR is bringing to the society through the enhancement of the rights of individuals, also to the requirement of more transparency and responsibility and trusted relationship between who manages the data and who owns the data is good. It's good for individuals, for companies, and for the society.
So, Christina, now that this law is in place, and this is your job, making sure that IBM is in compliance, describe for us what your day-to-day will be like going forward.
Well, I view myself as divided into three fundamental tasks and responsibility. One is to advise the entire company, business units, functions about what they need to do to be compliant and to stay compliant. Because let's remember that compliance is really not just ending today, but continues and is a life cycle of changing and adapting. Second, I need to control that they are compliant. So I have a kind of auditing, if you like, on compliance responsibility. And third, I need to ensure that regulators and authorities are happy with the way we manage the data and in the way we are compliant. So I have also an external facing responsibility to manage the relationship with authorities.